Okay, guys, I figured out the problem here. Uh, Actually, there was no problem. I just closed the database and reopened it, and that error, like the create out of range error was gone. I don't know why MS Access behaves like that, but thankfully it was gone. So this table is empty right now. I'm gonna go ahead and import my data. Right click on it, go to the import Excel, browse to the folder where you have the data here. My teaching, assign table, append data, append a copy of the records to the table assign. Okay, here. Next, go to the assign table, and it just imported it. So as you see, I didn't change anything. I changed nothing. I can, but I just closed the database and reopened it. It was working fine thanks to Microsoft. Sometimes I simply don't like Microsoft products for the same reason. They just don't work for no reason. But anyway, this you can adjust this columns here. If you just select the entire table and double click on the edge, and bring the cursor until you see double headed arrows, double click on it, and then save it. So it's gonna be saved. Okay, now as you know, I broke my database relationship, so I'm gonna go back relationship here and reconnect it to the project number. There was no need for that, but I just wanted to make sure that I catch the error. uh, so I enforce the relationship. We are done here now. So I guess I already created the project query for the project details. So now remember last time it was empty. This query runs dynamically, which means now if you have the data and the in the table and the relationship between the table established, if I double click on the query project detail, it's going to give me all the data that I need. And this is the very data that we need to create this report. So once we have that query here, we can quickly create the report based on this query here. So let's go ahead and do that. uh, I will go to the create here. I'll say that create report using report wizard, and I will select the query project details. I'll select all the columns here. Next, I want to view the data by project name, because here in the report you have the project name and then all the details about that project. Project name is not repeated again and again. It's just shown one time. So that's what it's going to do here. It's going to show the project name one time and all the related information underneath that title. So next year, do you want to add any grouping labels? No, we already have project name as a grouping label, and that's all we want. We don't want any more grouping labels. I want to sort it by assigned date in the ascending order. In the summary option, I want to have the sum of assigned hours and job charge per hour, because if you see the report here, they have the sum of assigned hours and job charge per hour. So that's something we want here. Say okay here. And then next here, I want to have the landscape because it's a big report. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna next here, I'm gonna say this is like foothills construction project detail. Okay, so I'm gonna say finish here. It's gonna create a report which is not nicely formatted, as you see. So that's the second thing we have to do now. We can format this one. I'm gonna close the print preview here, and a lot of things could be done here. So if you click on the view here again, we need to first get rid of this one, make this field bigger, move everything to the left, break down this long names into double lines. So I'm going to do one by one. I'm going to delete this one, and put a heading here next to the sum, like summary of assignment hours and charges. That's what we want there. So let's get going. I'll click on this view icon here. Okay, so remember that you have many options: report view, print view, layout view. I'm in the layout view right now. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one here. This one I can double click and say summary of assign assignment hours and charges. That was the title there. Okay, now we can select any one of this and make it bigger. Okay, so it's gonna show me, and then I can use the left arrow on the keyboard to move it slightly to the left. Okay, assign it, I'm gonna select this one, move it slightly to the left. Okay, uh, employee name, I'm just gonna double click here, say employee, and shift enter, delete extra space, and you have a nice name spanning 2 lines here. So here also we have to do that. Employee, shift enter, enter again, so it gives me this one here. Okay, select this one, decrease the space here. Remember, I am in layout view. Okay, so keep in mind. Okay, this one I'm gonna decrease the space here, use left arrow on the keyboard to move. This also I'm gonna select and move left. Right, job description, I'm gonna move left again. This one I'm gonna move left. Right, decrease the space a little bit here. This one I'm gonna move to the left here, and I'm gonna span it to shift enter, and okay, and then decrease the space here and move it to the left. Okay, select this one, move it to the left. This is the total, I'm gonna move it to the left. Right underneath this one, assign hours, I'm gonna move it to the left. I'm gonna move it to the left, increase the space here. Okay, to show the numbers. Assign hours, we can span it a couple of lines here. Assign hours. Okay, so now it's looking much better. So if I go to the drop it down report view here, this is how the report is gonna look like. This page number grant rule has to be fixed, and the total here should be the product of these two, not just the sum of this one. Right now it's just summing up this one and showing it here, but we want this time this plus this time this plus this time this, so it's a some product of these two columns should be here. Okay, so we're going to do that here, and that we have to do it in design view. So I'm going to go to the design view here. Okay, so here sum is here, right? So see carefully over how I'm gonna do it. So it says job charge per hour, and after that I'm gonna shift 8, so put like a product symbol there, open square parenthesis, I'm gonna say okay, assign space hours. Okay, now that is exactly the name of our field. Okay, so make sure it matches the field, otherwise this is not gonna work. So I'm gonna just control all here. Can I see control all? No. Command all? No. Okay, so I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna shift and select all of them, copy this one and put it in the notepad so that you can see it better. So this is how it looks like. Okay, now remember this square parenthesis, the name has to match exactly in the table, the field name. So this assign hours has to match exactly the assign hours that you have in the table, otherwise this will not work. So that's something I wanted to show it to you. And one thing you might have noticed is, I have switched the headings here. So I will go back to my layout view here. I can do it here as well, but I want to maybe do it here. So I'm going to move it far left. That's my assign hours, and this is my charge per hour. Okay, that thing is done. Now this fields, I'm gonna say this is drop it down and say currency here. Okay, if this is not visible, you can simply right click here and go to the report properties. Okay, just gonna open up this one and you select this one and say currency here and drop it down, say 2 decimal places. Okay, and then you can increase the field size, right, a little more here. Likewise, this one should be formatted as currency here with or two decimal places. All right, I'm gonna make it bigger here, need some more space. Okay, now this is the figure that's matching what we have in here, 1448.15, 1448.15, and these are all matching. Now this looks pretty good, so we have to just fix this one. I will say go to the design here, make sure I am in the layout view, and I'm going to select this one and move to the left and arrow down. I'm just going to move it a little down as well. I'm going to expand this one, move it to the left, couple down, and this one should be currency as well. So I'm going to say currency with 2 decimal places. Okay, and this one I'm gonna bring down here, this one, let's see. Okay, so that should be it. This is how it should be looking, very neat and clean. Okay, you can move more if you want, adjust it more, but this is pretty much it. Okay, so I'm gonna save this one as saved here, and I'm kind of done. Now for your assignment, this is what you gotta do here. I already created my own database here. Okay, you had to create a report like this, job category and employee. So you can watch it here. This is how it should look like. It should have information from the job table and the employee table. So you should create a query first and then base the report on that query. So this is the one report that you have to create on your own as a homework assignment. So with this, I'm gonna stop my lecture video here. Thank you very much for listening.